Sampadia, Chimafidi non kotu, era one radio. Samupe, Jumpadia, Chimafidi non kotu, era one radio. Oh, and Pamchima, Asam Pamchima.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, radio listeners all over the world. It's another Saturday, and of course, every Saturday, 6 p.m. in Era One Radio, it means we are coming your way with the Health is Wealth and So Protected show. This is where we bring you health updates, any tidbits that will help your health life as well. And so, as we always say, if you are healthy, then you are wealthy because you don't spend money unnecessarily to go for medical checks up or medication, although it's necessary that you do your annual checkups and intermittent checkups. All right, so last week, I think a couple of weeks ago, Dr. and it's Opoku, Agyeman, and myself, we brought you some updates on the importance of drinking adequate water, not just water. You can just take a little sip of water and convince yourself that you've drank water, but we're talking about adequate, what is needed, enough for your body every day. That's what we did last week. And so before I do a quick summary, I want to welcome Dr. Opoku Agyeman to the studio, and if he has any shout outs to his family, anybody, I will let him go. So Doc, you are welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Boison. Greetings to all people who are listening to us, and my greetings particularly our people in Ghana who will be listening to us about the LASSA fever. And as Dr. Boison is going to talk about the water, when we'll finish the LASSA, we'll continue with the water and tell you what you guys need to do to prevent water deficiencies. So here, let me leave Dr. Boison to continue with the summary. Then we begin from today. Thank you, Doc.
All right, you're welcome, Doc, and thank you as well. Well, on my side, I want to wish Nis Saban, also known as Reverend Robert Akron. Today is your birthday. He's been one of my reliable guests on the Divine Connection show. Today is his birthday, so he's chilling somewhere in Frederick, Maryland. So Nis Saban, I wish you all the best. I hope you are being pampered tonight. All right, Doc, let me ask this trending question quickly before we go. But by the way, it's here for you to us. Era One radio show, Apomodin, and Comodia, to say health is worth no. Wapomodin, Wahunya, and also Kenyan, and the year embrace up as our friend. Now will be a question, and so we'll make a contribution. We are normally yourself for near 240-280-2630. And also up as our text here. 51093100946. If you want to call to the studio, ask a question, contribute, or whatever you want to do, the number is 240-280-2633. And if you want to text, it's 51093100946. You are encouraged, and I'm motivating you to call and make a contribution or ask a question. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Modern Ghana Radio. I believe tonight is another football night season in the United States, so most of you are watching football, but I entreat you to watch with your eyes and listen to our health show with your ears so you can multitask. I know men can't do that a lot, but then today try multitask. If you're watching football, watch, but also listen to stuff that will help your health. All right, Doc, let me ask this question real quick. I know in Ghana today, they did what we call the showdown walk. I don't know whether you watched, I don't know whether you were asleep or you watched, but Canada, Japan's people did a showdown walk today. I don't know whether you watched it. What do you think are the chances of Honorable Canada, Japan being the flag bearer of MPP? I don't know your party affiliation, but let's just be realistic today.
Actually, I don't belong to any of the parties. I belong to a good and sensitive government.
Okay.
Who actually look at the people and serve them according to the need of the people. But if I look around the contestants, I think only thing that I can say is that even though Japan will try, I don't see any hope for him winning.
Are you sure?
The simple reason is this: the delegates who came to vote, they are the same delegates who are coming to vote from the same constituencies and regional offices.
On the November 4th, it's going to be the same delegates?
The same delegate, but it's only that they are going to expand it. So
I thought this time it's going to be 200 people who are going to vote for the November 4th.
Yeah, what I'm going to say is that what I'm saying is that we are going to expand the group. So if I come from a group where I voted for either Canada, Japan, or whosoever I voted for, it appears that all the group nominated me to go and represent that person. So right now, if they bring any additional people from the same group to come, they will not change their mind. They will all vote for the one that they send that person to vote for. So which means that in large or in little, the one who led them is still going to lead.
So you think Baumia is still going to be the flag bearer?
I mean, looking at the statistics of the studies, I believe that he's going to win.
Wow.
Because it appears the cohort came from all the areas the court voted for him. So if the court is expanded, it will not show any big difference.
Well, I am thinking Kennedy is going to win, but we'll see anyway. We'll see.
But
All right.
if the whole population are going to vote, then it's possible that the young ones will vote for him to get more votes. But remember that Baumia's age and Kenneth's age are almost the same. So the young people may probably share the votes among them.
Anyway, all right. Well, tonight we're going to talk about Lassa fever. Lassa fever. It's not a very popular name. Most of you haven't heard about it. I mean, I just, haven't heard it too long ago. It's, it's an animal-born or zoonotic acute viral illness, which is spread by the common African rat. It's endemic in parts of Africa, in places like Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, and Nigeria. And I think Ghana is also beginning to experience some. Doc will talk more about that. Neighboring countries are also at risk because the animal vector lives throughout the region. And so before we come to that, I just want to do a quick summary of what we did a couple of weeks ago. We talked about why you need to drink adequate water needed in your system. Is very important. Some of you wait till you are really, really, really thirsty before you drink water. And as we learned last couple of weeks ago, you don't have to wait till you are really thirsty before. Your body needs water. And sometimes you might not get it. The homeostatic patterns might not trigger in for you to go and tinker. But it's important that every now and then you drink water. And this, I think we gave a recommendation of the volume of water you should be drinking every day. So in a gist, I think we did mention that water is very important for the creation of saliva. You need water for your saliva, which contains the enzyme called ptyalin, which helps in digestion of food. If you put food in your mouth, it just doesn't disappear into your stomach. It has to go through mastication and broken down, going through your esophagus, through before it gets to the small and the big intestine. You don't just put a piece of yam in your mouth and swallow it, you choke. They have to call 911. And also, water is needed to regulate your body temperature. You need water cools your body temperature. When you are hot, you perspire, excretion, sweat comes in all in the form of water that goes through your body pores. And so as you lose water externally, you have to replenish, you have to drink water. And it protects your tissues, your spinal cord and your joint. It also helps in excreting waste through perspiration, urination, and defecation. All these things, you need water. If you go to the restroom to go and give out what you put in, and there is no watery medium, your stool is going to be so strong, hard and patient, you'll be crying in the bathroom. So you need water to move it freely. You need that free movement of water. And it also helps to maximize physical performance. It's very important. Water is needed. It prevents constipation, as I said. It aids in digestion. It helps in nutrient absorption. When the food has been, digested, it needs to be absorbed into all the villi in your system and all the places that it needs to go. The vessel. It helps you lose weight. Unbeknown to most of you, water helps to lose weight. It improves blood oxygen circulation. And like last time, I think I said water is made up of H2O. two atoms of hydrogen and one of oxygen, and that oxygen helps to oxygenate your brain, your blood, everything. So it's important, and it helps fight off illnesses, anything, and boost your energy. And I think as it's in cognitive function, your brain needs water to function, and it improves in body mood. Sometimes if you realize that you are being too moody, check your water content, and it helps to keep our skins bright. I mean, sometimes you get so dehydrated and you need water. Very important. It prevents overhydration. And then we ask, how much do you drink? And I think we gave the volume you have to drink. And I think Dr. Opoku asked me a question whether of the two genders, men and women, I don't know the in-between gender, who drinks more water, and I think we were able to say it. All right, so tonight I'm going to leave this aspect to Dr. Opoku Agyeman to take us to the LASSA fever that I mentioned earlier. He's going to go through a quick PowerPoint. He's done a very sweet, nice PowerPoint. He's going to walk us through, and then at the end, we'll have the opportunity to ask some questions as we go. So, Doc, the ball is in your court now.
Thank you, Dr. Boison. I hope since we are speaking to people, specific population, I'll probably mix the tree and the English for people to understand what we're saying.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, when we talk about Lassa fever, what is it at all? Lassa fever, according to the notes that I have here, Lassa fever is a kind of illness that is gotten from a viral infection, commonly with the rodents and rats in our communities. And it's very common in West Africa. So far, there has not been any case of Lassa fever reported in the United States here, according to CDC. The group of viruses that cause this particular Lassa fever have some very peculiar symptoms that is very difficult to know. So as we go along with the slides, we will see a lot of how these viruses are identified, and then how we can talk about it. The making man said, LASSA Arabia among the animal kingdom, zoonotic, kind of bonica is zoonotica. The ocean say Arabia more to say crama crane yaini, but where specifically no, who say a war in cra any akushi. Now, a very common in West Africa. Now, mine a very predominant was in Nigeria. And Wabubo including so aka say almost so in fact, West Africa was said another dog can a year. Maybe it's Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and other French-speaking countries maybe. Put their names were not mentioned here. So we share LASSA. You get to know LASSA is by signs, symptoms, and now with the signs and symptoms, you have to be able to know the transmission of the LASSA in order for you to confirm what LASSA is really, if it is really LASSA. Now, there are 4 least preventive and control measures that can be done according to World Health Organization. And this LASSA has a kind of fever which is similar to all the viral diseases fever. So it is not easy to use the fever alone to diagnose it. Rather, you have to get some kind of laboratory support in order to confirm that this disease is LASSA. And as I've just said, it's very common in West Africa. Lassa fever is a viral illness that occurs in West Africa. I've mentioned it. There must be a source and a medium and then the exposure person, what we call the reservoir of infection, and then the exposure person. Send no picture no mono. The reservoir of infection no is assumed say omo ye and more be from rats. One year cause a rat, yen you rat no ya na fi secrecy nko. But so over advanced countries, you know, ya to me be a no even say nkura so ye rats. Now, women live in a space called mastatoms. Now, sir, mastatoms no ho na mo nyinaa women da na acquire a family bi a clone family bi na mo nyinaa bi ho. And you know, we see them as multi mammals. No multi or as a family bi and omota. What is very peculiar with them is sir emuya nkasa no women and transmitting yare no ɛma nipa yɛ bi. The Lassa virus is transmitted to human mainly through food or household items contaminated by the infected rice urine and feces and by handling infected rice. You know, so how the transmission is done now. It is not on the question say it be a mwana cow and I say one worry and but it is true say why contaminated. Aduane bi a wodie no afra mmoa no wɔn dwo nsɔɔ anaasɛ wɔn fees toilet bi pieces bi anaasɛ wɔn nsa kɔsɔ wɔn toilet pieces ma na urine bi mu ne bi a wɔde akɔka wɔn ɛna wɔbɛnya saa infection. 80% of people in infected 80% of infected would have no or mild symptoms. 1 or 5 people will develop a severe symptom. On the other hand, no, the opposite is the nipa bear or hunching would be or show sign they will have a very mild symptoms. However, no, a more 20% maybe they might be able to develop a severe disease. Any fun area so predominant geographical distribution of Lassa fever. So we share map we are nature baby a gray, baby a light yellow, and a baby a deep yellow and a baby a orange. Baby a show orange in natural Lassa endemic because the endemic is a malaria endemic organ. Ubia to me inya ya really be. And idea is you don't say seasonal so I do. Now said the name is Ghana, Guinea, Liberia, Mali, Sierra Leone, Togo, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire. One more na yare now variation of endemicity no. Sana yare no distribution at so here but yare no saying na the burden war West Africa. Or say 58 million people are at risk. One more betting be about 58 million. There were all the rural communities in West Africa. And at least a move 5,000 estimated number of deaths in the whole West Africa. Because I wanted to make about and as a yare we need to make about 5,000 people in the whole West Africa countries now Afibia. Now expected people are yare ni biana say nye biana no around 100,000 to 300,000. Meaning say nipa bi a bibiri ho na wonya yare ni bi on. And we acquire yare no fast transfer to man. So emo anu wo baby omo tie any hase reservoir of master ross in any area hase ya omo tie kusie ni ekura nni nti ha no na omo di omo agro nyina nti no omo free hase ya na omo aba ha ya na ya reservoir nuane bi ewo ye kitchen ni na man nti omo ba omo besisi ye no na isu a etumre bi a na omo adwonso gutu bi so no ma bia ne bi omo ko toilet no once omo toilet ye nkete etumre bi a na ebi akofra bi a na ebi ebi nso ana obi nso akụkụ bi kwa ne ko ekura no de na saa eku ene ana wo handle no ene wenu nyina no efi no ho ana se bi nso bi efi no na toilet bi a ewo no ho no betimi a infect the infection out of the ma over the beba has nipa no a pioneer fast one nipa transmission. Yes, here was this say no omumu ase no a infected area. And 80 to 90% of the human infected through food and household items contaminated by infected rice, urine, and feces. You say the contaminate basically that we have established that. And the direct contact and so a mra wo bekwa aboa ne bi wakotso aboa ne bi maybe a so bi a no home bi so we yare ne bi a bara but when say bara infection we na say o you ma most of the time you have food they are very suspicious and ubetimi a contact yare eba enipa mu a mra enipa na nya infection no if no secondary human infection where primary human infection because from animal to human being no a primary human infection now initial ones here reservoir mastocytosis no yare na sacral one kasa omu we is zoonotic and a physiological eba nipa hon man say na eba human to human so what we know about human to human say or say it's that direct contact a very direct contact and a direct contact and he said let me go back a bit and see direct contact and he said ubenya from through secretions organs or other body fluid on the viral infection the nipa most of the time here we say we will be free home but no and another serious issue it may cause transfer me na mo me ya gbe say coronavirus ba you know who sneeze here very dangerous now. Chicken pox who sneeze here measles who sneeze here into viral infection most of the time they are not fluid in the when we get infected transmission between man and man no it goes by body fluid infected body fluid and organs be abakwakushumu and as a blood a transmission and any secretion be as if you are very suspicious and say so when you're very mindful of that. And one about how long a show sign the World Health Organization establishment say unya one be ready anymore from 5 to 21 days between 5 and 21 days a show sign until 5 days to 21 days between 5 to 21 days we are shown 5 days, shown 6 days, shown 7 days, 21 days. Max and a show now we are told that 80% of them know only panel or hunting when they don't show any sign at all, or they show mild presentation of sign. And as one show about 80% now, almost show almost symptomless now, that's almost show sign beyond. A new bear 1% be a bit low. However, no, or show sign no, or 15%, no, almost so almost to the hospital. A move bear, move to the hospital. A move 15%, you need to have that hospital. The symptoms are the most common. Emma, one more, any fever. When you say, I never compass in your tears and say, viral infection be a year. First symptoms of a fever. And
high temperature.
Definitive way to diagnose when you're Sayaria, the friend LASSA. What Pumba Miles Ubenya general weakness in COVID, some memory never home. After a few days, no, dear no tia say away. Not a minimum ayiku. Not what chip up what way muscles no say a move to trooper. After a twash upon so when you're home here, now if you were chest here. Now, boy, sir, as I say, phone, and say, why you not see it? Now, if you want more quiet, over here, see so up. If you are off, you know, said no down, and you can't diarrhea, only solid food
It's too solid.
And it was too no a day a mobile now okay that's when you're diarrhea so you over toilet more than 4 times and 5 times another 10 times and 8 times and 12 times like I say who now after you na assign abeka alone no I see a ball nti wobɔ wa na akɔsɔ yɛfunu mu na afei na yɛfunu nso etiti nti nim sɛ wohwɛ sɛneɛ ɛyare no siti a ɛfiri organ to organ to organ to organ to organ nti no the last portion of it no wobɛhyɛ aseɛ in a very severe case na wo bleedi. Where are you bleeding? Internal bleeding and bleeding from all other parts of the body. So, what you feel when you move back, no more you feel reading back. It pre-appears that we are so much a bit to honor. And now, after you bring your neck and a bear swell. Once your groins do has it. So I grind and there won't many more seeing. And you know the home. Now, if you won't enter no phone. The next other serious thing is you can get shocked. In your shock. Ebi ana wantumi answer bi. The second part is I was in the various degrees of the death and etimi ma waso etimi si. Now on check in 25% of the cases. But a bill one ma any part 25% of the cases now almost the same. Ebi ana emu 50% there after about 1 to 3 months no na omati ade. Na omo another 50% there omo ntehwe. Enti no that is one of the signs and signs symptoms of it. The evolution of the LASSA fever disease, from symptom to onset, another onset. And I said, where infectivity period. Infectivity period now you can was a time when you find a benya any time idea a man of symptoms. Any time idea a bit more leading a man away and I said a few symptoms no bit transfer yariano amani pafo. And you know when you first phase now 1 to 2 days no. Until I want the picture here, why yellow me. And I said, we are faint in yellow, and away orange. Now, about orange, you just into what almost picture is here that different times, no different periods, no symptoms will be here in the course of your infective period. And you know, when you was the first part, according to CDC, one more in America, of the first part, no fever. Fever no that question but my duration is a 190 and the so when you're very few weeks about 104 plus make us a why is but now obey week you can be there for you can be and you may be a more you with the ano also a factor be a fancy you but you're becoming next time you conclude in the becoming would be extremely fatigued. What come by your mrehojo? Is a way here and you nama why a general week. It went to me and Pijan Prana, why before. If you are now here, you typically go far. Now, meanwhile, that is the second phase of it. It's not when you're there any vomiting. Well, when you fit now, the question is a very extreme case. So, if you are toilet, now will drawing never know corner. I have see every woman. Blood pressure so ever perform. Normally, blood pressure so a go less than 90. Like as a way after an walk. Human so I say who believe it. So we are careful about it. Maybe some more deep about pregnancy. Remember, can be pregnancy who can say one more pregnant. In most cases, say 85%, or more no 18 I want to in 1 million. And it means be crowned what trimester, no do trimester, and 33%, as a man make for at their trimester, so I am not a year at Papa Emma. Okay, and Palano so a young man, can no many a near maybe actually I know me back on I well, the other back on any and I say a year white. In front of that children, Palano so a Omusha no. Na omenya woolly body syndrome. Yeah, omonas na omonasi akwa omohuno baby, omonfono no ahunhu. Won't me in where it is. Emra hu sa asan when I just want to say no yare bin na yare no. Lassa fever so we make my diagnosis was say symptoms are non-specific. The any specific and say any yare hu with symptoms you. And this is clinically diagnosed under microscope. And I'm making other diagnosis say a yari way and I want to say yari. So almost probably a friend of differential diagnosis. A bit me abu distinguish as last time a free either viral hemorrhagic fever no. and as a yellow fever and malaria and typhoid and tuberculosis and other viral and bacterial disease. You know, so yeah, differential diagnosis specifically say we know. But again, yes, that was like I said, viral disease the beyond my mentioned that immediately be it. And you know, this person who this only pana back person, the historical patient history about the disease, you know, the exposure to rodents and the rats in area now. So when endemic place, maybe our Tibet body na area now one or subject to animals like rats, you know, it helps a lot for you to see say the papono enya sa ya really be area. Laboratory fever analysis no. Nka me person Dr. Boison we dey we know other na unfa brand to say dey mo bia no.
Lab na.
Ipatwani.
Oh, okay. And me person me can't be quickly about diagnosis now okay and about the various me yeah, differential diagnosis includes other viral hemorrhagic fevers, yellow fever, malaria, typhoid fever, shigellosis, and other viral and bacterial diseases. Another doctor, so no patient, you already pee or what? No, one of the questions on MP we already pee or what? Almost symptoms and signs are very similar. Intuition, Dr. Opoku Agyeman no kano. Signs and symptoms no man no. They are very, very close to each other. We be say now COVID and what is the difference? How do I know whether I have a COVID-19 or I have a LASSA fever? Ni jina obeko hospital and say clinic and my lab test and so my diagnosis to affect them who are the quarantine to me and if any guesswork. So last year minya COVID symptoms are minya diarrhea, minya vomiting, minya severe pain, headache, identity. This year, so they're the same thing. Symptoms may look similar, but until so hospital, my doctor to me, I hear whatever diagnosis and laboratory test, and I define exactly what it is. No, you wouldn't know because shigellosis, no, is coming from Shigella. No, so symptoms are true, although they may be closer to other diseases, no, unless maybe microscopically or microbiology. Some tests are done. They've cultured your your sample, and I say, because we are used to what is in the stool to even decide on what it is. Into test and the doctor can definitely diagnosis requires test. Okay, reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction, and then IgG and IgG antibodies, enzyme link, immuno absorbent test, LASSA. These are all high level tests are almost because you will be a serologic test, and no, they just find out whether your test results is positive or negative. And the other confirmatory test, which is a HIV same. Who call hospital say HIV test are almost preliminary test, which can be positive or negative. Negative are over some, but positive then they have to do either ELISA or the Western blot, any further advanced test as one more year to confirm say you are actually positive. Because be an first one more year it could be just an error, laboratory error, and I say a technician or a test in the or miss step BS or your test now miss step into eventually became negative and as a positive. Until they have to go for advanced. It's RT PCR tests. They are all advanced tests. They use enzymes to detect whatever is in your system. And the Agyeman IgG test, no, it just shows to be a one when you're just infection betray more any but antibodies no, the test they are doing it shows say infection when you know at now mu ache into they can decide so we betray mu and I say we are at now system for a long time to share most of the enzyme test no maybe say syphilis RP and so that's a positive. They have to do further, tests to show whether we are IgG test, we are IgM antibodies, and I make us a back HSA, a BBA, Usano, and a Unyaye, until you have the antibodies to them, until you showing so I when you be that. And what they show current infection. So I do way the Nancy and the Unyaye into still in your system. It is very important, say, hospital my lab test one you can do microscopic because a virus bacteria you can't see them with your naked eyes. Internet manufacturers first near so brony Nancy and Bruni because manufacture no microscope no because no edibini nti yɛn nka sɛ broni kwa na adeɛ hwɛ electron na wiem so hwɛ deɛ broni ayɛ because na bibini na start yɛn nti this time yɛn nka so adeɛ broni yɛ adeɛ manufacture no yɛ nti microscope no etumi detect mmoa nketenkete na yɛn ni ntumi ho no wo de two microscopes na magnify no wo hu whether gram negative gram positive almost any organism now is it showing purple color now say it show red so almost any say red you better so a gram negative organism show purple under the microscope no it just say gram positive. It is very important say unya yare bia na say unya saa fever ya and na ho nka so oh we bia we typhoid we bia because bia na saa fever kuno more severe ubetna wa guess na most Ghana for bi o yare obeka so medical hospital doctor Agyeman sika de oh measure 2 days make kodi agra na eko nkola npi no mo yare a se kode bi Ghana se kode o surprise time bi a na de ama so kwa me kodi agra be konti please sa unya bibi sa entna ho ko na doctor qualified medical practitioner on hwe on diagnose no anka say when yo enye covid so selective otumu say enye covid what is this LASSA fever enye fever what is it ni nyina antina meka and yare bi ho they have the same signs and symptoms they be about one single symptom peda override and I say it shows where this thing say where covid na where fever and it's very important to know that diagnostic test now we mentioned what it's just a higher forms of confirmations of tests in lab no after serological test no some other advanced testing to know exactly whether you have a current infection or an ongoing infection or a past infection you had years ago. It will all show. I think so. We may continue.
Okay, Doc, na me question you na me ka something back bi a very unique ma nipa no etimi ewu. Omo wo abi se wo chest no wo ya na wo neck no honhoma. Na wo stomach no na epeni wa. Na we you have it very difficult to breathe. I'm saying that I say unya chest problem. Unya enough oxygen into your lungs and as our lungs no inflamed. It is very difficult to breathe. Now actually no also your mucous membrane no infected that. And my own intimi muscles no intimi and contact because in your viscosity and my name move so there is a move. It can lead you to seizure. On the other one, seizure comes up. Maybe the water system in your body is more diminished, and therefore the electrochemical balances is not balancing the way it's not stable. Therefore, you can also get seizure. Seizure now, if you run the next one, I'll be confused. We're confused. We are very, very confused. Now, if you now, you fast to we are presenting what World Health Organization has found out with LASSA fever. And that is what we are trying to share with you. So that you will know, sir, if you get any infection, as Dr. Boison was saying, that you won't say, sir, you have to quickly go to the hospital to look for the treatment. And intensive support, and supportive drugs and so on. And drugs are almost labaverin and so on. I am not going to tell you so what I'm trying to tell you is that don't joke with it. And I can't see once and months on you can't see once and say ensure but when you have infection it diminishes ensure it might get dehydrated if you feel reading. And the lesson is saying that in electrolyte balance and function well. And function well, so renal function, so break it down. Renal function break it down, then you have to rehydrate you. And this rehydration, when you only mean rehydrate yourself will feel. And this one go hospital, uncle rehydrate yourself. Over that fear now, they are not what you just everyone say, when you supportive drugs. Supportive drugs will be to say painkiller, anti-emetic medication, and as azoretic medication. And I be malaria because you are ready for the because elimination immune system. Malaria betting I don't know what malaria I don't know one real answer a quack. And the next time say we say we antiviral infection, no more drugs there, or mutin at the boama viral disease, no, you feel suppressing it down. And you know so abia as a okokopedi. Oh, where the issue Dr. Boison any national health team no the person what we are talking about the case investigation. The case investigation involve the first case that you get, you use the first case to do retrospective studies, to catch where the cases are in order for you to control the disease or treat those who are sick so that the disease will not become epidemic in that community. So we are there. First, one case, cases, now follow up, now cases now, more area, or now teach you more contact me, then you are preventing it. You are putting a preventive measure in order for those guys who are sick so that they don't transmit it to another people. Here, you come to the national leadership, the national leadership will do with case this and then treat the sick people, then you prevent the disease. Case investigation, treat the sick people and the nearby people or the associate people or the contacts, then you come to preventive measure in the communities. Then you said that thing there. So anytime you be able to one titi arena, the pan has become the reservoir of infection. He's also going to transmit the disease to another person. One, in human level, you get a case, you treat, and then you prevent the disease. In the animal level, you have to control the animals so that the animals will not get in contact with human beings, or the human beings must also control their home. You have to manage what's on. Who said it makes me be a good one. Yes, sir. Maybe I'm inquiring about. And there will be given a general strategy to control LASSA outbreak. I don't know listening as you know. The person, doc, Maminya will not wear for baby churches. I do women, no medical.
Oh, okay. All right. Before I remember, doc, in the take a quick advert now. If you are taking message quickly about the better as well.
Me dindi acrobat. Me a businessman at the same time so me sanso ye actor. Me nyata mpo en makwara sabia ekosi se dakro me ni me business for a share ye meeting. Prekope me call off. Me unruhwi bio. Me no te me no na mo banahin specialist hospital. Wow, enfidie ni machine sha hodo na mu say yes hospital e bidi de biachi.
Me hu se mayo kakra. Nanka mensa contract bi eneya Agyeman and problem e buy. Di kan buti mama akwahwe kura da masamba. Ka me ni beje ho pa.
Oh, men worry. The person we treatment no. And so your facility wa ha be boa na new business partners na ye meeting.
E da mo ase. And hospital kwa na moyi. Awon na ye zuma me ni mo ka say.
Opeto ko hospital ya me kanfo banahin specialist hospital ma. Ko na they are ready help you. Baba.
All right, in case you just joined us, we are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Modern Ghana Radio. The number to call in is 240-280-2633. And if you want to text, it's 510-931-0946. We are on the Era One Radio on a Saturday on the program that we have themed Your Health is Your Wealth. Well, Dr. Opoku Agyeman was discussing, actually he got to the general strategies to control the LASSA outbreak. How do you control the outbreak? If you want to control an outbreak, where do you start from? Because we are looking at prevention and how to treat the disease. If you don't prevent it, then you're going to catch it. And if you catch it, how do you treat it or solve it? All right. So some of the World Organization proposals are that you conduct social and cultural assessments and engage with key influencers, women or the youth association, traditional healers and local authorities, religious and opinion leaders, formal and informal communication, address community concerns. So pretty much, near chance I say, once your society no matter one. And you may be say social and cultural and for meet wo komu ebusuani efinu and I say groups meeting all kinds of social and cultural perspective and assessment. So what you do is you come together and find out what do people believe in, what are the cultural beliefs. You meet the cultural entities. Okay, this is our culture. Because me fi Ghana, me fi asunabushana say me fi then the GD. Obi beka say uko krobi kra hinsma menim say India krobi omo bushman aso omo sum what is it? Is it kawa na me kai particular but krobi oho omo no omo sum boa bi sa aboa no untumi nkono. The fact say obi ewo krobi ono nya aponcha na say odwan obi kono no krobi also omo son. Into we have to be cautious of signing mania. You have to do your cultural and social assessment. Find out what the people believe in. How can you offset the problem that is at stake? Engage the people. I mean, say, sometimes, no, friend meetings, so person o kasa check or take you serious. But young fans say, "Bio, yenti emako no ape doctor bio, and then me share money na me person money ni amube share." And who say, "Yare way no." This is how we want to treat it. Into you gather people like that, and I say, "Be offer formal and informal communication." Obi oha. What no continue classroom setting now, which are their own tears here. So we take it, maybe to say a way of teaching all the materials be better now or better say and you just go to a classroom like so kwesi TN American board no. So you have to find formal ways. It could be formal. And here be a classroom, which kind of classroom, so this is what it means. Know this, know that. And then there were informal ways. Okay, example, make it say be a one in Malco and I say member and I say whatever age group, we are teaching them according to the way they're going to understand. Until we have the behavioral and social interventions. That is the way you have to go. And logistics is be a government provided resources to be as a BBC here. That's what you're going to. And I say be a crossing no monte. You can't see he or she doesn't know the importance of water. You have to send some logistics. Because now the gadgets some who used to say be a sense say won't me hit here. We will see if I'll be to me as soon as so. And I'll talk about security. Police talking about lodging, food, and security. In terms of you are providing the police system, or make me guard against other things. Lodging, maybe uncle food is very important. Though can be say LASSA fever no bet me from Emano Mbuano almost two and also almost Johnson. In this case, you are looking at your surroundings, making sure say you don't have rodents. Ghana bibi say bela obi chi bela obi kuni se sia no kuni su kwapa on Emma, namne mbinye. No worry. We yes, sir. What you are doing is that you are infesting the organism into your system, and you're going to be infected because while we are born a year raw, and I say I'm being ye, and as one my temperature, and to me, I born so 1 year. Obi or comedy into the see just 5 minutes or say I've been no wait there be. Inside some local restaurants, they be so I say, how do you want your meat? Done, well done. Maybe sir, meno sir red and mempe. I mean, I said they would do and then no, you want it well done, well cooked. Until we have to be very cautious of that. Now with surroundings, making sure say it's hygienic, it's neat. In Caribbean, I say feces be in Bobia drop on toilets. Please don't just leave it there. Sweep it away. Roof. Sometimes when between dear go, no more drop almost feces to the ground. You have to make sure say those places are all healthy. And talking about finances and salaries, of course, more income more for the year, and so no I can say be on for being preventive measures, on traps and also on pesticides, on very important. So if you say baby if income is a problem, finances is a problem now, you treat that problem make sure say okay, the people are getting adequate sources of income. It's a problem everywhere. Obia complaining about inadequacy, but at least you are making sure so you are using some of them even to take off stuff like that. I think we have a lot of this slide is a very busy slide. We have a lot of stuff we have to run to, but we don't have too much. We have only 9 minutes. And clinical case management. Usually there are people who have been assigned to cases. Public health now. Public health means you are taking the health of the whole community into consideration. Yes, sir. Only papa also may malaria or doctor and but then when it comes to public health, you are looking at the general holistic health of the people. So be case BCR nipa hinenya over 1,000 people are nipa hinenya yare be 2, 3 because what I can say 3 or 4 it is too many. If you get 4 out of 1,000 people are it can be too many. One can be, taken care of. With public health, and epidemiology, there are statistics they take. So, over nipa 1,000 in the population, let's say be a 4 or 5, and which means it's too many. And I say you have to take all this into consideration. And there should be investigations. So, be outbreak, BCR, men can say, oh, where 1 or 2 penty, and you're important, you enjoy. Please go to the source, find out why the person was infected, so that you can do what prevent future occurrences. Internet business police for investigation because you're bonipa you. Oh, okay, that's fine, it's okay. No, they don't stop there. They go to the root cause. Why was the person shot? Who shot the person? What happened? Your investigation here to me block it what will happen in the future. Because and then the nipa two so one ya and then so nipa kuno tomorrow or next day, or perpetuate 210 a year. We have to be very cautious of this. What the World Health Organization has proposed, it's very important for us to follow and use as a strategy to prevent future occurrences. I think, Doc, we have only 8 minutes into Doc, but to us. So I know, slides need more. We may have to continue at that time. But Doc, if you want to continue from there, we have 8 minutes more.
Okay, let me just in a short in the dog kind of the person man summary. Coordinations on the behavior and social interventions and a dog can once not clinical case management or can once we need the logistics to accomplish the behavior and social interventions. And at the same time, whilst the social intervention is going on, the clinical case management takes place, epidemiological investigation, surveillance, and laboratory work should also take place. But now let's try and see, how did the Moa also contaminate our source of food? Now a conversion bit me afaso now community yabuama community prevent ourselves from getting this LASSA. Engage with the community to promote desired health desires and behaviors, including environmental hygiene and food consumptions. And you know, we are near Woody any you have to get into a good sense of promoting your health. And you have to provide an accurate and timely health advice and information on the disease. And there's been the catch them this year. You can't actually say, a pine buffer, I'm making up a mobile, show no pink, you know, let me quickly run through it and say it faster so that moon number the first can say. Like the COVID, LASSA so no as I said baby over sa so do we ani esi baby a kata so a abo bi antimi access to it COVID nya aduane kata no kra nya aduane kata so but bi a bitima basa but we nya aduane kata so mo anu ba number na mo bi anu so no mo dwonto gusu na next day ko bi a problem aduane a ya no ane ne enu an nyina no they have to be kept well so that mo anu madwoso so aduane a ya no an sa de china akoso no ma bedin so gusu na onsa so mu na you contaminate your hand, and you can get infection, particularly fruits. And the trust was keep your home clean and tidy to discourage rats from entering. But if you want to say about in Kura, any more amount, and that source of a boy bit my woman, if you have to, and no cry, you didn't see us in. And yes, so and the Biania we be answer, we are catastrophe, you said about a Kurabi and answer. I will be intimate. So one word, say if you are not cook the food thoroughly, but you are not come and yes, she now and prevent abobia from entering. In fact, the most important thing at the person much as I said, some kata a DP moody so the bear air attracted rats among soon, no more toilet in Namunya Sayan. And she said, "What me reduce rat to human transmission?" And your mammy and say, I can once in and you can one or say, remove source of attraction for us. I did, yeah, would it see if you on the man? A woman grab a few biano, for 2 years, tell the bear in Cranamefi. It been a brown, a biano, say grains and grow a moon, and in your man, maybe a one woman. Say, in fact, Gary no in a man and one woman design a minute. And here, sir, we sound no minute. What mark I did a woman here, sir. and ka wo be didi wie ya no wash your dishes in room kama ni mo ni pampa bi ama. But let me just try to emphasize things here. Rodents beba fear. I just want to send to say aduane wo ha obenye di. Enti no mo dey go with sensitivity. Omo ti say bibi bon fi hon ma. Ekwa bia on befa so abefie tokru bi on betima fa so abefie bia no. On befa abefie hon. Enti say rodent ba ofie ba akopɛ. No we say aduane wo ho. Ekwa na yi say aduane pe ba fesi. Anya sa on be destroy wo ne ma wo fie nyina na almost had infection so abroad. Was it prevent rats from entering your house? Block holes. Or see in Tokyo Kitua, or Mufomu Benyan, and you did say a bash no demand, and one of Broku, they would dig another place if you have all those things in the house. Who will be an issue over Sabasa? You could go now they see overnight, and in the mania, or digging hole, whatever you do to them, no, they will dig hole and come in there. Until you improve your body material. So, begin now, we will make sure, sir, and one to me for like you seal in it. And my own say, "Omo to me for baby aba. Make my foul down open my, make my fat a so aba, make my fat a joint this aba." Indeed, they are very intelligent animals. And this who deal with them, you have to deal with them consensuously. But the consensuously that you can do, and say, "Obama if you need rats, and they will be hard. You can hardly get them there." Also, avoid contact with omo infected rats. No, one more toilet near a baby omo do man work okadia. So, what be an ear would be a directioner or who said, rat be a throw that food away. So, one number wounds on my barber torture, throw them away. Now, before you see, so I'm the number and I say, throw my way. Don't use your bare hand. Put on gloves, check them, and maybe put them in the trash, go and throw them away. And this is idea. You will prevent them from getting closer to you. And I think that make sure you boil it well. One more toilet here, black, kitty, na one more kogu surroundings, no. Because one more animals, and when they eat, they defecate. The more that as long as they eat, they will defecate there. In fact, defecation is one source of a million who say, Bahono. Until you are going to avoid this defecation, when you see it, clean it well. So, papaya pepper, because they can cause patients and they can cause death. And the regular hand washing with soap is very, very important. Go for treatment. Don't stay in the house and say, my hand washing, using graph to take anything about suspected coma. If you say, use a glove, handle, no, maybe don't touch it with your bare hand because the tendency of using your hand into your mouth is very, very high. And in summary, avoid contact with other people. LASSA, when you say a fluid, in fact, it has been proved that sexual intercourse can also transmit it, and also can be kissing. Kissing will be any nipa we don't say chia and same any a crobia will be alcohol and be a chobia. On also don't and will be aware. Between a transmitted as I am, and also seek health advice immediately. So when say nipa na when you contact please don't waste time. Seek advice quickly. And it's advice as soon as you see what you have been diagnosed with positiveness, please drink plenty water. Ensure in here na call for laboverin and answer antiviral drugs don't be diano or I'm rushing here, and you may be on my can controlling infection in case of any other issues. We are not going to bother ourselves here. Doc, I don't think I make just say, one more question. You make me be said, there are any sources of information.
Yo, Doc, I'm saying, time to cry out, Benty. And I may person be business. Yeah, I think we stated, say, West Africa, yeah, one of the predominant areas are very, very open. Why is that so? Is it because of the nice weather, the heat, or what makes it so prominent for this fever to be prominent in that area?
Yeah, the question is very difficult to answer. But what I know is when I was reading about the history, they said that the disease LASSA is a French word.
Yeah.
And, I was asking myself,
it's a French, yeah.
LASSA is a French word. how come then say yeah West Africa gentlemen name we are really dinner does it come from them or from where? And what we know is say on the rats no in their own families and they have their own disease that is running through the animals. But it was actually discovered somewhere in 1961 or 69, somewhere there. And they have a disease here from LASSA, which kills the mouse known as rats. And finally they discovered that particular virus now, some infected some people in Nigeria. And it is through this they are very common with African because they have not traced this disease anywhere except the West African community. But the point is, it is more likely that with this immigration, massive immigration session at this century, the disease can cross the ocean to another place. But right now, as far as we are concerned, it is limited in Nigeria, Benin, Guinea, Liberia, Mali, and Sierra Leone. In fact, Ghana, it was very limited, but right now, people are also migrating to Ghana. So we are not surprised that we are getting cases in Ghana.
All right, thank you, sir. Well, from what we know, the peak incidence is thought to be between in the dry season between January to March, and then also there is kind of overlap in the wet season, May to November. So please, Monchesa Mbosumi January to Kosi March, and May to November, Bosumi time, some fever to me a predominant. Yen that's not dark kind, it's very important. Say baby, very very important because one a drop or more fees and also we now. We do and one cataso near could be so by a comedy until Gazo, Yefino hit you Oma so na woody we if you would between 5 days to 21 days and now start say manifest body munefi when ya through that incubation period na ya na hunti yen hwe aduan ho ye very now most of money and what say advanced countries no mo na ye from pet no omo de omo call a medical checkup o omo de omo come every month and I say every at a periodic intervals no you checking one to say you checking it ya. But other African countries, no one can say usika na wudi na nso nti wu na da be na wudi mboa na unu omotino wudi bia kwa check up and they are also vectors nti mboa na omotino you sure say they are clean and sebuas somebody are in a bro nti say if it's possible say jamana wo say kramana wo I mean make sure say these animals are clean, they are not transmitting anything. You money pure hana oboteka man nam nipa ho sai when nimino baby bi mkwa kisi we have to be very careful. Mo na mo do omo tongue to nipa no mo hwe yare nkwa na yedio nti nyame na bo nipa ho ban but anyway we have to be very careful. Nti I said no say fever bi na benya na say ya bi na ho say symptoms we cause please don't hesitate, don't sit there cuz we dey china beko. Get it checked. After 2-3 days, the symptoms are still there. And now, doctor be unsure, onshore. Say lab you man labs you who are dear womb because depend on when you're in moja unewo. Njomanya lab tests and also any laboratory they wouldn't know. See, bringing our program to an end today, and we want to thank Dr. Opoku Agyeman, my co-host, for always being available. We thank you, the audience. I know it's a football night, a football season, but you can always go back to Era 1, click on Health is Well Show. And actually, all our videos are still on Facebook and YouTube. Just click on Era 1, it will take you there. Listen to this and educate yourself. Knowledge is power. You cannot say that you don't have knowledge. Ignorance is no excuse. So we have to educate ourselves. And these days, because of the power of the internet, you can go on the internet and Google anything. You will have a plethora of results. The doc, my name is closing remark. Be a person can't say the show now, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, with all that doctor has said, let me just present these two things. Pregnant people are at a very special high risk for pregnancy complications or death. Until when they get this LASSA disease, as early as possible, they have to go to the hospital. So when we say don't wait, don't sit there and say me parano. So when you please now areas to say Nigeria, Benin, Guinea, Liberia, Mary, Sierra Leone, and I say Ghana, and I say any of the West African countries now, LASSA disease normal. But more dear say, and tell man when yeshimo, go to the hospital for them to diagnose you and make sure some more rule say and your LASSA na yewo. The last na yewa, you can complicate your marriage if your pregnancy if you don't go to the hospital. Lastly, I want to thank Dr. Pierre Formanti, who actually was the leader of the World Health Organization team that prepared this infection hazard management health emergency program. Who a presenter Maya, be Akadia Chiramuno. Some say, and trim and kind, what the World Health Organization, the whole world has agreed to say is something that we can do to prevent LASSA. And when you follow this thing, you are more likely say you control LASSA or prevent LASSA epidemic or sporadic in your community. I want to thank Dr. Boison for taking us through this slides with all his busy schedule. Thank you, Doctor, and everything is in your hand now.
Also, you're also welcome for taking time. So it's here for the program, but Rawan continues to be broadcast throughout the night, throughout the day, throughout the week. In actual fact, we have special programs throughout the week. Monday we have the financial group coming to educate us, and we have the Yonsum program, of which Dr. Opoku is one of them, Kobe is one of them, and our studio manager Dr. also one of them. Tuesday I come your way with the Divine Connection. Wednesday we still have, we used to have soccer, but there are other replacement programs. Thursday I come your way again with the Divine Connection from 6 to 7, and later in the evening, I think from 9 to 10, we have the marriage seminar. Our people come and AJ02 and Co. come and give us the higher version of marriage, tidbits in marriage. And Friday, our brother also comes to give us Count Your Blessings. Dr. CM comes to give, and then Saturday we have Your Health is Worth. And Sunday, then come on, Kitten, come our way. They've taken a little break, but I'm cautioning them. They've been on break for too long. They have to come back. And then Saturday, early in the morning, Dr. Osus comes our way with the Chukuchaka program. And so stay tuned every day. There is something from Erawan for you to enjoy. So, until we meet again next week, stay blessed, and thank you for being our guest tonight. Continue staying in good health. All right, bye-bye, Doc.
Thank you.
Erawan Radio. Erawan Radio.